Hi there, it's James Jack from BIOVIA. Another screen cam demo presentation of an add-in that I wrote a few years ago. I write a lot of these add-ins in my sort of spare time, and I'm always on the lookout for free web services or obviously with a chemical slant. And I came across the European Biologics Institute or Bioinformatics Institute, and they have these two databases, ChEBI and ChEMBL. So ChEBI is a database of chemical entities of biological interest, and they tend to be small molecule compounds. And then you've got the ChEMBL database, which is a database of bioactive molecules with drug-like properties. So both of these had web APIs that would allow me to program against them. ChEBI is still using a SOAP-based API, and the ChEMBL database was SOAP when I first programmed against it, but it's been upgraded now, and it's now using a REST interface. So I wrote some add-ins. I wrote two add-ins for BIOVIA Draw that use these databases. So I've got on my canvas, I've got an aspirin molecule, and I'll use this to demonstrate both. So if I go into the chemistry menu and I go into web services, then you'll see that there's a link to the ChEBI web service, and I can go on to search, and I can do a search by structure. And then I can choose from different options whether I want to do a substructure search or a similarity search or an identity search. So I'll go ahead and do a substructure search. And that's now pulling back that data from the ChEBI web service. So there are 22 hits. Obviously, it's found aspirin, and I can navigate through here and look at what else it's found. There's a slight pause as it goes off to fetch the next bit of information. So if there was something on here that I was interested in and I thought, oh, I'd like to get that structure, I can use the transfer button to do that. So I can transfer the structure across to draw, and then it gets put in there using hover and drop, so I can put that where I want it. I can make some notes about that. It has the option to open in the browser, so open in your native browser, the actual full-blown ChEBI web service website rather. But that's that one in a nutshell. That's what that one does. So I'll go ahead and show you the integration with ChEMBL. So let me just do an undo to get rid of that structure. I'll go back into the chemistry menu and I go into the web services, and this time I'll pick ChEMBL web service. Search compounds. So again, I get some different options about how I want to search in here. And I can launch this without a structure on the canvas. If I have a ChEMBL ID or an INCHI key, I can just paste those in. So the ChEMBL ID is the ID that the Bioinformatics Institute give to their compounds in this particular database. I obviously don't have one at the moment. If I click on INCHI key, I will get the INCHI key of what's on the canvas. But I could put a different INCHI key in there if I had an INCHI key that I wanted to search for. But let's do a substructure search. So I click on the search button. And there's a little pause here because it has to verify that it can connect, that we've got a session. And then I get the progress dialog popping up. So it's now searching the ChEMBL database. It's fetching the hits. It's fetching quite a lot of information usually, especially when I use aspirin, as you'll see when the dialog arrives. There we go. Sometimes it's a bit quicker than that. That was a bit slow. I was actually starting to get slightly worried. In the background, it's fetching some more results because it creates a bioactivity sort of chart based on the bioactivities of the structure that's on the canvas. So I'll just wait for that fetching to finish. Otherwise, there won't be a lot. Oh, it's gradually filling up. In the interest of keeping this video short, I'll just carry on. So yeah, this one, obviously I get the structure. I can navigate through and look at the different structures that are in here. It's gradually fetching more and more hits as it goes because it fetches them in batches of 100. So 440 may be the final hit count there. The new REST API imposed some limits on how much data you could bring back in one hit, so I had to make it do a paged search. As with the ChEBI add-in, I can transfer results back to the canvas, and I can also open in the browser. If I just make the screen slightly bigger so you can see everything, we've got this set of tables. It's actually a rich text format field where I've just popped in different values that have come back for this particular structure. So we have quite a lot of calculated properties that may be useful, and classifications, and then some identifiers, inchy key, canonical smiles, standard inchy key. On the bioactivities front, I'll probably take us back to aspirin because that shows a lot of information then. So just wait for that to go back to the aspirin page. We'll probably have to fetch the bioactivity information again. So there we go. There's obviously tons of information about aspirin. I'll just make this bigger so you can see it better. And I can also make the structure panel a bit smaller. So we have this pie chart that captures all of the available information, all the bioactivity information that's there in the ChEMBL database for aspirin, for the structure that we've got here. So yeah, there's tons and tons of information in here. You could go into the browser mode and then dig down and look at that information in more detail. But I just wanted, for this add-in, I wanted to create a nice simplified view so you could just see how much data is there, and if there's something that you're interested in, then you can obviously go and dig deeper. I didn't want to make a full sort of ChEMBL database client, so this is a sort of in between the two. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could extend it, but then is there a real case for doing that? Because you could just go to the website and do the same stuff. So the interesting stuff for me is the chemistry side of things, and if I can go in here and transfer the chemistry back with hover and drop like the other one, then I think that's nice, and it saves me a lot of time drawing this. But that's it. That's those two add-ins. So this, the ChEMBL and the ChEBI database, and these really demonstrate that you can hook BIOVIA Draw up to a SOAP-based web service or a REST-based web service and do something useful. Okay, thanks for your time and thanks for listening.